You know, you brought up Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, the Twitter ban.
He recently got banned from Twitter, and as you know, he made a dramatic 15-minute video.
Yes,
as opposed to just maybe deleting his tweet. He went on to be, oh, this is why I can't, and just at some point, everybody has to acknowledge that like you're anybody in this.
Anybody in the industry who using free speech on platforms,
free speech, anybody who
owned.
identifies as a certain side, at some point, you're doing your side, you're doing your gimmick to get more people. You're grifting, so to speak.
Yeah.
He had released another video that maybe more summarizes his views on what happened. So
yeah, I've heard.
Let him speak for himself.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I don't know exactly how to have sex since I wasn't informed, and I'm probably doing it wrong. No doubt, I owe some apologies for that, and I'm trying to learn. I don't have sex with girls. I would rather die than do that. I might also just be gay, although who the hell knows in these increasingly strange days. First, breasts. And second, come. That doesn't exist, by the way. It's a serious disease. Delete.
I never saw the last part, but
so good.
Yeah, no, he's really circled back. See, you know what? As funny as that is, though, I have to point out that it's pathetic that these are the people that are offended by him simply speaking the truth in a way that, again, shook up the fucking minorities or whatever. I don't know what to call the people that...
I'm over it, dude.
The pissants, whatever.
I like Jordan Peterson, but I'm also over the drama.
Yes.
I'm over, like, I'm going to do this just to do this to get some,
I like he's not backing down. I'm behind it. I'm with it.
I guess
people need to stand up for this shit.
It's Twitter.
I know.
So is it really something to be that proud of? To release a 15-minute Facebook video to say why you didn't back down from Twitter at some point? That's pretty pedantic. That's pretty like...
Call me a fanboy. But
dude, 12 rules for life. Got the book, read it, love it all.
Although I don't make my bed.
Which is why I feel more inclined to be like, stop being dramatic. Just stop being so dramatic.
I feel
because that's his thing now.
Like, look what Macy Gray just had to go through, right? Because she had to walk on eggshells and walk back. Like, he's not doing that, and he's standing firm on his point. I understand.
Is he though? He called. So you agree that the person who took Elliot Page's breasts off
was a criminal?
Was a criminal?
Is it a criminal act? I don't.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, it's usually reserved for cancer patients, but
what is elective surgeries?
Cutting off. I don't know. Hey, man. I just didn't think his tweet necessitated the block or ban whatsoever.
Well, I mean, it's in Twitter's rules.
What did he say?
If you break the rules,
what did he break?
You called pride a sin. And without clarification, it does seem like you're attacking literally in the month of pride, as opposed to just going a little broader with the idea of like, pride in general, national pride, this type of pride, that type of pride. In general, pride cometh before the fall. He never clarified himself. He just said in general, pride is a sin. And then he went on to the next sentence by saying, the person who removed his breast was a criminal physician. Remember when they were being criminal physicians, which obviously, plastic surgery isn't a criminal thing. So like,
well, okay. For the pride is a sin, I think is his freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
Right, but we've dealt with Twitter and stuff like that. It's a private thing. There's no,
even Elon, our boy Elon.
There's government things, that government ties, where we could argue that it is more public. It falls under free speech, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's a private company, so it's just like.
But what was
maybe don't go on there. Like, what is this like? It's just what I'm tired of. Is people knowing what they're going to do. I'm tired of the victimhood. These same people who get mad at everyone else for playing the victim, then do something against the rules of this company, and then say, oh, look, I got in trouble. I'm the victim. It's like, bitch, you know what you did. How are we going to sit here and feel sorry for you when you're doing the same thing you don't like other people doing, playing the victim? It's so similar, it's disturbing.
I disagree with I think they attacked his freedom of speech rights by banning him. And they make him
regardless of that fact, you could be correct. I'm not sure if they attacked his freedom of speech because he said it and there was freedom of consequence on a private.
They're like bend
company.
the knee, you know, and then you can come back on.
It's
like
Twitter. Is it that big of a?
I mean,
But the idea that you're now claiming victimhood on a private company by saying they're stifling you is it's so insincere. I love Jordan Peterson, but to be the thing you claim to be fighting is insincere. You're playing a victim when you're on.
I think he's just angry.
He's playing a victim. He's 100% playing a victim. He's being victimized by releasing a 15. He could have been, if he deleted the tweet, he could be back on Twitter. If Twitter mattered that much to him, he could be back on Twitter.
I think it's the principle. And
what's the principle?
Just
could
freedom of speech.
Could he have made a better tweet, a more tweet that was more clarification?
I'm not into like the word policing,
but you kind of are because you're saying right now that you're for what he said. So like,
yeah, he had every right to say
which is
word
policing,
even if I disagree with it.
Which is word policing. Which is by saying no, you're policing that he should have said that. Like you're still word policing, whether you're trying to change what he said or not.
He could have said what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
which is still like he could be back on if he just deleted the tweet and or corrected it.
Yeah.
What's cringy is just the victimhood. I'm not a fan of the victimhood. Like knowing that a result is going to happen and then claiming you're a victim. It just seems like
I genuinely don't feel that he didn't know he was gonna get a strike or I really don't.
Bro.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No joke.
Are you? Come on.
100% sincere.
Then I gotta hard disagree on that. I think he knew exactly what was gonna happen. Just as a lot of people who lean a certain way know, like it's a thing. Guess what? I just got banned. It's a plaque you wear now. Look, I got banned from social media. Check it out. Here's my ban from social media. That's it. I'm done.
By the way, we've been striked twice.
Exactly.
Woo, woo, what's up?
It's a badge of honor to wear. And then to act like you're bummed out about your badge of honor is disingenuous. I'm not mad at the tweet. I'm mad at his disingenuous nature of pretending as if he was surprised that Twitter was going to come down on him for something of that nature when he knows exactly how Twitter
I'm bearing
operates.
in mind, it's Jordan Peterson, one, and secondly, Canada, which has become so fucking dystopian with their, misgendering the laws.
Hold up.
So with that,
Canada is government. Canada is speech by government.
Right.
It's compelled speech.
I would
completely
also,
different than Twitter.
And I understand the vibe feeling kind of similar and him being like, no, I've dealt with this shit before.
He still lives in Canada.
Yeah, he does.
How's the vibe similar? It's Twitter. It's a private company.
Yeah.
Tell me where it's similar.
I know. I just, them being the arbiters of what's acceptable to say when I personally don't feel.
Not in the world.
I don't think what he said was.
On their dumb little platform.
I don't think their dumb platform should have silenced him. I don't like any of that shit.
But that's their. So you want to control what a private platform does now?
No, I don't. That's getting a little hyperbolic.
It's not, because you just said you don't think they should have silenced him.
I disagree with them entirely. Yes.
Right. So, which means more than likely they would go after something like that because we have time and time again Twitter being douchebags on that front. So to act like he's surprised, to act like this injustice was done against him when he intentionally set himself up for that to happen. By the way, also being hired by the Daily Wire and being in this, it seems a little
all right. So where we differ is you believe this was a strategic move, whereas I think it was sincere.
I don't know. No, I think it was in the middle. I don't think it was strategic, but I do think at some point what platform you're on. It's stupid to think you weren't on Twitter when you said that. I think there was like, well, hey, if I get banned, I get banned. If I don't, I don't. This is how I feel. No problem. You have every right to feel that way. But a company such as that has every right to tell you, get the fuck off my platform. Go to Truth Social. I don't like it. We've had many conversations about Twitter and Facebook, having some types of government affiliation and, where they can't fall in to freedom of speech and the Constitution, stuff like that. But It's a far cry from what Canada was trying to implement via their government, having compelled speech, saying you have to call me something like that. Twitter just has rules for their service. This isn't service for the world. This isn't dictating how the world works or how America works. It's just Twitter. So it just feels like, doesn't feel like it was planned. But the only thing I will keep going back to is I feel
he knew he was
him crying victim is disingenuous because he doesn't like people having no accountability. Make your goddamn room. Do this, do that. So to pretend as if you don't know what Twitter is whatsoever, and you don't know that if you were to say this thing on their platform, that they would take you off their platform, and they gave you a way to come back on by just saying delete that, but you're not going to delete it. You're going to sit there and cry victim. It just seems a little disingenuous. I like Jordan Peterson.
Even going so far as saying he'll die before he does that.
Bro, it's Twitter.
Yeah.
You'll die before you delete a Twitter tweet?
I get it, man, but
that's
maybe,
a little that's hyperbolic.
Maybe I've fallen for the drama, man. I like flexing my free speech, and I don't think he said anything that
there's nothing wrong with that. Flex it, but then don't come on and come back and be like, I was wronged. No, you weren't. You knew Twitter has these weird ass policies. What you should say is, I did this. I stand by what I did. And I'm fine with it. Not make this, you sons of bitches. I will cut, like,
I like
what the fuck? I like it, but it feels disingenuous. It's like, you know exactly what you were fishing for. It's fake. He's being fake. I love Jordan Peterson, but that man in that moment, fake.
Well, I'm glad we have our show
Very
stuck
fake.
In the middle because we agreed to disagree.
Agree, disagree, for sure.
And,
for sure.
You want to do the freak out videos? I have a feeling there's some great comments. Yeah.
Are you reading some, or are you just saying that?
No, there are good
I
comments.
thought you were going to read some.
Where do I start? Okay. No, because it'll keep going and going.
If it's hot, it's hot.
Okay, well, here's a question proposed to you. So you're okay with your strikes then, Josh?
Who said that? Why do we get so hyperbolic? Who said I'm okay with strikes just because I was like Jordan Peterson's playing a victim? I didn't come out and say we were victimized.
You're right. Maybe I've done that more so.
Yeah, we knew exactly what YouTube was about.
I disagree with the
soon as YouTube said we were getting striked, all those videos were removed because we understand the YouTube platform reaches more than any other platform out there. So if you really want to have your voice heard and it wasn't about playing victim, you'd be like, okay, fuck it. This loss is less than the greater opportunity I have to reach more people. So I don't feel victimized. I feel it's unfair for sure, but I'm not a victim.
I feel like
I signed up for YouTube, literally. Like, we signed up. Like, I'd be a victim if I was forced to do this, and then they would say, talk about it. Don't talk about it.
I absolutely disagree with YouTube's strikes on us, and I got a strike for simply reading a public op-ed
but are you
that's
a victim?
On the NIH.gov fucking website.
Are you a victim?
I won't, if that's the word choice, no, but something unfair was done.
Unfair, not a victim.
Yeah, and
I'll appreciate.
And I've gone on the same platform to kind of give him the fucking.
A victim
finger,
is innocent. A victim, I'm walking by and all of a sudden I get robbed. The victim is all of a sudden I walk by and something happens to me. A victim isn't somebody toting the line that they know is there and then crying foul when they're noticed crossing the line. Literally, we're habitual line steppers. We do that to push the line. God forbid we push the line too far and we get slapped on the hand by the place we are putting our videos out there who say you can't do that. That's not being a victim. A victim is complete innocence.
This is a new question. I don't know if World War III has been starting in the background, but real question. Do you feel like political polarization is put in play to aid suppression of freedom of speech? That's by Forging Thought.
Say it again?
Okay. Real question. Do you feel like political polarization is put in play to aid suppression of freedom of speech?
I go farther and I feel it's more
because I think Twitter's choice
class
was a
polarization.
I think it was a political ploy to the screaming minorities, the Alphabet Club, man. I'm gonna get canceled.
Of course it was.
Yeah, and He's standing up to that bullshit.
I mean, now his voice is silenced on the place where people can hear him the most. Now he's just going to be resorted to an echo chamber. So his voice is being heard by people who already agree with him. What good is that?
Yeah, the echo chamber effect.
No, but seriously,
yeah.
what good is that? Hey, guess what? We're going to talk about the things everybody's already talking about. Oh, fantastic. Who we really reaching to? Nobody.
Nope.
The whole point of a YouTube of a Twitter is to reach across the aisles, to talk to people you don't normally talk to.
Yes, that is. That's our mission statement. Yes.
Whatever happened to I lost the battle, but I won the war? Why do we gotta win every fucking battle? What happened to that mindset? Maybe I lost that battle, but I'm gonna win the fucking war. Like, choose your battles. Why is this a hill? Why is Elizabeth Warren coming out and I want to die on the Charger Hill? Why is he coming out and saying, oh, he just lost a lot of reach? He could be talking to people who don't agree with him.
I don't know, man.
Where he's going to go right now?
We are of different mindsets.
Everybody,
here.
Are you kidding me?
No,
you think
you and I
Truth
disagree.
Social, you think all the other outlets he's going to go to, people already don't agree with him? Like the aisle he can reach out to is completely more biased towards him.
No, I think he, in that speech, he made it clear he's going to continue to maintain his position and see if Twitter.
I would love him to. I'm not against his position. Maybe you're not understand. Maybe you're not getting me wrong, but what I'm saying is, if you keep talking to the people who agree with you, you're really not. The thing he's trying to do isn't being attained. He's kind of speaking, as we said, to echo chambers. So if he did have to delete that tweet, but then still remained on Twitter and was able to articulate thoughts in a different manner to maybe, hopefully change people's minds, wouldn't that be better than talking to the same people he's already talking to? He's not stretching his reach. He just limited himself by being stubborn in that moment, by saying, oh, you know what? Like, by someone who's so principled, by admitting he said nothing wrong, by admitting, oh, guess what? What I said here, it wasn't pushing any boundaries. He was so sure in his thought process there that he was right. Maybe he was, but the idea that in that moment he wasn't so open-minded and philosophical as he makes himself out to be is like, what are you doing, bro? You're being engulfed in the culture too much to where you're losing who you are. You're not challenging new ideas. You're reinforcing the ones that are out there.
We have a matter of different perspective here.
I'm not talking to you. I think
he's remained just consistent on his message, and
he's become more dramatic. He's become more dramatic on his on his message, and I love the guy, but he's pulling a Ben Shapiro. He's turning in to those who feed him. He's becoming more of a grifter as opposed to more of a philosophizer. He's not being as much into changing someone's mind as now he's more into reinforcing someone's beliefs. Before, he would have these debates and they would go back and forth.
Yes.
Now it's just more like, if you don't agree with me, you're wrong.
He has a line in the sand here. So we'll see how it plays out.
Which limits him, which really does limit him from being someone who enjoys philosophy. If you have a line in the sand, it's hard. Your bias is shown when you talk about a certain subject because of that line, as opposed to being open-minded, having that two-sided conversation without this feeling of you're more for one side or not. You know what I mean? Like the Jordan Peterson that I watched when he was wearing his little bow tie and his white shirt and his suspenders on, and they come is a far cry from the Jordan Peterson that is on that Twitter post.
Okay,
and I will stand by that.
That's a perspective I understand.